Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 31 days of horror movie reviews. And here's a movie that, when it was coming out, I was interested in, or at the very, very least curious about, but I never got around to watching it until just now, thanks to Netflix. I'm talking about Crimson Peak. Crimson Peak is a 2015 film that was written and directed by Guillermo del Toro. And the plot. The plot is we follow Mia Wasikowska, who plays Edith. She is being pursued by Tom Hiddleston, who plays Sir Thomas. He wants to date her, wed her, marry her, and whatnot. Her father does not like this guy. And what do you know? Her father drops dead. So, I guess she's all ready to go and marries Tom Hiddleston, only to find out that he lives in this really shitty house that's seemingly abandoned, hasn't been well taken care of. The ceilings are holes and constant crap coming into the house. It's very dark and creepy. But also, his sister, Lucille, played by Jessica Chastain, also lives with them and also seems to not be the biggest fan of Edith. Now, what I think of Crimson Peak is, I think the movie was just okay, just fine. I didn't love it. I tend to have the same opinion of this movie as I do with most of Guillermo del Toro's films that I happen to see. I haven't seen every single one of his movies, but I've seen a good amount of them to come to this conclusion. I don't think Guillermo del Toro is the greatest writer in the world. I know some people might call that blasphemy. I know some people are going to immediately downvote this video just because I said such a thing. How dare I make such claims? Guillermo del Toro is their god, is their hero. But I don't know. Whenever I watch his movies, I always feel empty. I always feel like I didn't quite get as connected to these characters as I think he had hoped for, or how much I was supposed to. Like, for example, Mia Wasikowska. I like this actress. I do. I see her in things every now and again, and I think she's good. But I wasn't with her. I wasn't along the ride with her in the story. I wasn't sitting here thinking to myself, oh, I understand why you want to date Tom Hiddleston, because I didn't. Tom Hiddleston obviously is a good-looking dude, but I just mean as far as his character goes, immediately I got bad vibe from him. Immediately I thought, yeah, that you can't trust this guy, given that he was trying to pitch this machine he invented to the father. The father turned him down. And so, oh, what do you know? I'm going to start dating your daughter. And it's also funny because while that's going on, Charlie Hunnam is in this movie. He plays Alan McMichael. He's a doctor. He's been pursuing Mia Wasikowska for the longest time, and she's aware of this. She knows that he likes her, and she's just not interested, or she at least doesn't seem to be interested, which is kind of baffling to me. Charlie Hunnam is a good-looking dude. He's a good guy, has a good job, and he's not overly forcing himself on her. I'm just watching her and trying to understand her character. I don't get why she doesn't date him and why she ends up dating him. I don't know. And then when bad stuff starts to happen to her after she marries Tom Hiddleston, after her father conveniently dies, I wonder how that happened. You don't feel as bad for her in this house when things are being not only haunting her, but seemingly warning her to get the hell away from the house, get away from these people. It's almost like the two siblings, Jessica Chastain and Tom Hiddleston, are more of a threat than any of the ghosts or demon-like things that might be in the house. There's a lot of haunted house type things that you've seen a million times as far as jump scares go and as far as the CGI goes, that the cinematography And the way it was shot, it looked great. That's the thing with Guillermo del Toro. All of his movies look gorgeous. They look beautiful. They look unique. They look like something you hadn't seen before in some way or fashion. So I will give him that. This movie was definitely nice to look at. I just couldn't care less about most of the characters going on. Tom Hiddleston and Jessica Chastain, them as siblings. I guess I just need to talk about it. They didn't get that interesting until you find out that they were sleeping together. And there's also a point where Edith thinks that, oh, well, like she catches them in the act. And she says, I knew it. You're not his sister. Because they're sleeping together. And Jessica Chastain goes, no, that's the thing. I am. I'm doing incest and I like it. It's like she fully embraces her evilness, and it wasn't until that point where I saw how dark and dirty they were that I said, okay, this is different. I will give the movie at least some points there. Jim Beaver, some people might know him from Supernatural. He played the father. I talked about Charlie Hunnam, and he just gets nothing to do also. He's just there for a few scenes to kind of pine away over Edith and get turned down, and then later on he tries to come back around, and it's like, dude, she's married. I know technically you're in the right. You are trying to save her. She does need saving, but she's also too dumb for her own bad. And I just, again, didn't really care. The haunted house aspect, the ghosts and stuff, the scares, I didn't find myself all that scared. I'm not saying I was bored, but I will be honest here. This is my second time trying to watch the movie because I tried to watch it 2 nights ago, and to be fair, I was a little drunk, I was late, I was tired, and I fell asleep at certain points. And if I had just recorded the review, because I saw the ending, I woke back up and saw the ending. If I had just recorded the review based off of that viewing, I probably wouldn't know half the stuff going on. I would have missed the part where they slept together. So I knew I needed to rewatch it. I rewatched it now, and I pretty much feel the same way, other than I know a little bit more about the plot and the story and everything that unfolds. Other than that, though, I was a little bored throughout it. I wasn't as interested or as scared as I wish I would have. I think it worked out that I didn't see this in theaters like I originally wanted, because, man, seeing a halfway boring, not that interesting to me movie really sucks in the theater. It almost makes the experience that much worse. But overall, yeah, I wish I liked this more. I wish I had more good things to say about it. Let me know in the comments below if you guys enjoyed Crimson Peak more than I did, or do you agree that it's just kind of a lame duck? It's whatever. And let me know what you think about Guillermo del Toro movies. Can you believe I said something like that? Or is there a really good Guillermo del Toro movie that maybe I missed or haven't seen, and like that's his one great film that you can't say anything bad about? And I have seen The Shape of Water. I wasn't impressed with that either. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!
Soul's taken over by a devilish path. You got me walking on broken glass. Kicking down the door with a Jason mask, with a deck dome machete, but you motherfuckers know it's heavy. Anytime you're ready, you can get you with a Bowie. Setting up to blow me, but the bitch don't know me. Who's going